from JTS, who has a wonderful way with words and picks up on the content that I provided her and writes it beautifully as a parent and as a thoughtful adult. And so we work together on it. She is well known in the New York area because she has been a rabbi for UJA, but is probably not known around the country, but is qualified. But I want to make a distinction. This is not Torah study. This is not rabbinical Torah study. There's plenty of that out there. These are ethical value lessons that are relevant to kids' lives that reference the Torah.
Mm-hmm.
The idea is to get parents talking to their kids, but also to realize that there is value in Jewish text.
Mm-hmm. Great. And one last question. How are you hoping to market this in communities, in Jewish communities?
Well, that's a very good question. We want congregations or schools to pick up on it so that, and we can provide it electronically through a bureau or a board of Jewish education or directly. We have a website that it can be accessed from, or we could send it to them, where we can go any way that the community wants us to, for the simplest way, so that it can be delivered impactfully weekly.
Mm-hmm. Jan, that was a great question because it's a segue to what we wanted to do with part 5 of our webinar. But I'm just curious if anybody else has any other questions sort of about the content and not about the delivery at this point. Not hearing any, then we're really going to spend the rest of our time dealing with different aspects of the question which Jan just asked. Fred came to us and said, I have an idea about a way to distribute this material. I believe that the local bureau, central agency, or what other name is being used in individual communities would be the ideal partner in this particular project. And what we wanted to do now was sort of hear Fred's thinking about how it could possibly work and your feedback about whether that is the best way or there are other ways of dealing with some of these logistical distribution questions. So Fred, first sort of lay out your idea and then let's go back and forth on some of the issues.
Sure, and my idea is actually as a layman. I'm not technologically as up to date as many of you. But my theory is work in collaboration with congregational schools or their congregations where they have the list of their parents. They all have the emails of their parents. But the importance of the collaboration is that they tell the parents this is going to come in the beginning of the year. They should pay attention to it, and they're going to ask them 3 months later, does it have value to them? Now, my idea is that a congregation gets it at no charge because we have it all electronically. I am going to ask that congregations sign a very simple 2-sentence or so document. The first sentence would be that they agree to distribute it weekly, and the second sentence would be that they agree to submit, to cooperate in an evaluation should they be asked. And that's all I'm asking from the congregations. So the real question is how best to distribute it. First of all, you have to get congregations to be interested. And I think the central agencies could play a very important role there. And secondly is what's the best for them? We can put it into their email box. I'm going to use some words that I'm not that familiar with, but through FeedBurner, through my website, they can get it weekly once they sign up so that they can distribute it. but I want their commitment that they're going to use it.
So I want to stop at this point and ask the people who are with us, does that make sense? Does it make sense to have the local bureau be the conduit? Would you feel comfortable with going to the congregations, telling them about what this project is, asking them to participate, and you be sort of the local conduit between, for want of a better phrase, Torah topics for today, Fred, and the congregations? Would that work in your community, or is there a better way of getting to the congregational schools?
I guess that's me again. May I respond?
Sure, please, go ahead.
First of all, it's just not clear to me, and maybe it's an insensitive question. I apologize in advance, but is there any cost to the community?
No. The only cost...
So it's a lovely, lovely, lovely offer, and it may be that some congregational directors of education will swoop it up. You know, it'll be an answer to all their dreams, and it really is a very contentful and engaging piece that you've developed. I'm also considering in our community, some of our supplementary or complementary directors of education who might look at this and say, terrific, but I don't have the time to do the work. And plus the fact that if one of the target audiences, and not just congregational families, but the unaffiliated, and we do a huge amount in Rochester with public space Judaism. We have something like 400 families on our database who come to public space Judaism events who are not affiliated, believe it or not. And I'm wondering if this project that you've developed wouldn't be a great piece for them. Therefore, I can't tell you that this is the best vehicle, but I'm wondering if it goes out directly to families from the central office. It may not reach the goal of your getting a formal feedback form, but on one hand, it may reach more families. It's just a comment. I don't know for sure. I think it's definitely worthwhile